What really shocks and astonishes me is how the people around you suddenly turn their backs on you. You might be a hero when the investors come, but when all comes to an end, and this really surprised me, friends who I'd known long before CarsApp was founded just weren't my friends anymore.
Economics engineer Oliver Lundstedt founded a startup that left him broke. He invented a digital key that unlocks cars using a smartphone app. A device could be fitted on most common vehicles. He received numerous awards for his innovation, but after 4 years, the funding was gone. The experience has scarred him.
It was a pretty big shock. One Friday evening in November, we found out that an expected investment just wasn't coming. It was already in the bag. The contracts had already been negotiated, but someone just spontaneously changed their mind. So we suddenly started trying to get the funding some other way as fast as possible.
He'd already burned through €1.5 million. Money from server operators, investors, and acquaintances. He had to lay off 10 employees. Failures are hardly ever spoken of at fairs for company founders. These are places of boundless optimism, even though 9 out of 10 startups in Germany flounder. People in Oliver's position usually keep quiet, but he was open and honest about his defeat.
We should have released the product earlier and adapted it better to the customer's needs. We spent too long developing it in the wrong direction. It was too late before we discovered our niche and that we should turn around and change our strategy.
Tobias Zumwalt has 2 failures behind him, but that hasn't put people off him in the business world.
My clients respect what I know, and they don't see it as a stigma or a minus point.
So is this fear that people talk about unfounded?
In the professional field, it's unfounded. In society, well, I often get asked by friends and family how I can advise other people when I failed myself. My company failed, so it's not right for me to advise other companies. But it is right. It works well.
Experiences like these can make young people afraid of starting their own businesses.
Failure probably isn't such a bad thing. Starting out takes the most courage. After that, you can see how it goes and embark on something new. It's not a bad thing. These people survived, and they're still happy.
I learned that I don't take enough risks when it comes to money. I try to borrow as little as possible.
If there's a will, if you fight for an idea and show your perseverance, you can achieve a lot.
Oliver Lundstedt has since founded a new company, this time digitally opening office doors. His new venture was developed in a Berlin startup centre, financed in part from his mother's savings. He pays €350 rent a month here. The budget's tight, but it meant turning a profit right from the start.
It's the first time that I can really sleep soundly at night. We can finally stop worrying where the money's coming from in 2 or 3 months for the rent, the staff, their salaries. It's much more relaxed.
He already has his eyes on the adjacent room in order to grow his business. And he plans to hire 3 more people. His clients now include a car rental firm and Germany's biggest telecommunications provider, Deutsche Telekom. Although he'll never completely forget his brush with bankruptcy, his dream of running a successful business is finally becoming a reality.